What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we are back with another Marvel Snap video. And this is something I'm very excited for. This is a brand new type of video, and I hope you all love it as much as I love creating it and talking about this stuff, because today we're gonna go over my top predictions for this weekend's Creator Clash tournament. It has a whole bunch of creators there. We're talking about like Dara JN, we're talking about Drewberry, Alex Coccia. There's so many people, like Specimen's gonna be there, Eggs is gonna be there, D-Money, everybody, all right? So I want to break down some of the decks, some of the ones that I think are gonna be the big winners, okay? And yeah, we'll discuss and we'll break it down. And there might be some decks that y'all can try at home, all right? But before we get started, if you're new here, hi, my name is Chris. I also go by Bootman. And if you love Marvel Snap as much as I do, especially like the competitive aspect of it, stuff like this, tournaments, ranking up, this is the channel for you. This will make you a better Marvel Snap player, all right? So make sure you subscribe, ring the notification bell. We have all sorts of awesome stuff. We got a Discord server down in the description below, and we do contests and giveaways right now. I'm currently running a Build Me a Shadow King deck contest. Every single month, I do 3 season pass giveaways. Well, I give away 3 season passes in one giveaway, but you also got to follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ. It's linked down in the description below. But yeah, subscribe. We're trying to get as close to 8,000 subs by the end of the month as possible. So come on and join. It's a good time. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, so check it out. So this, his head's kind of cut off, but you can see that beautiful man right there. So Kawa is doing the first Creator Clash tournament. A bunch of creators flew out to New York, and they are doing a tournament, all right? And this is a list of all the decks, so they're doing an open deck list, all right? So every single creator in the tournament submitted 2 different decks that they're gonna be using, so all of them have the chance to take a look, strategize, all sorts of stuff before going into the tournament. So the tournament is starting, I'm releasing this in the morning on Saturday. It starts at 4 p.m. Eastern time, so I'm Pacific, so that's 1 p.m. my time. It is on Kawatech's Twitch channel. So I'm gonna link this entire thread down below, because I'm only gonna be going over the top 3 decks and one little honorable mention. So check this list out if you want to see all of the different decks. But like I said, let's run through the list of creators, all right? So we got Dara JN, we got Eggs for Sale, Twitch streamers right here, D-Money, Ordinary Harry. Ordinary Harry, I just came across his channel. Super cool stuff, makes some interesting decks. Nina is gonna be there. Alex Coccia, all right? You probably know him if you're subscribed to me. You're probably subscribed to Alex. He has a big channel. And he also comes from Dota 2. I didn't realize that. I used to be a Dota guy myself. That's dope. And he's also the co-host with Cozy. Him and Cozy do their little podcast, which is dope. We got Specimen. Love me some Specimen. We got Jesse James, R. Hickey, Default Dan, who else? Lee, Drewberry. Drewberry's my boy. We got Windaber, Felicity, Coco, Valentine, and yeah, that is it, okay? So I went through, I looked at all these different decks, and actually, if I'm being honest with you, I watched Dara's stream because Dara kind of went through them, and I watched it and I kind of analyzed it. He has his opinions on the different decks and everything like that. So I wanted to break down my top 3, all right, and we'll kind of discuss why. We'll see if my predictions are right tomorrow. But a lot of these decks, yes and no. Some of you might be able to try them. Some of them are a little bit on the higher end. I guess actually let's. I was gonna wait till the end of the video, but let's talk first. So Dara, actually, he's a spreadsheet guy. I'm a spreadsheet guy myself. I made a little spreadsheet for this video. All right, so he kind of broke it down, and as you can see here, on the right side, he shows like how many decks are using like certain cards. So 6 of these decks are using Lockjaw, okay? 5 of them are Thanos. And the majority of them, like the Thanos decks, are Lockjaw decks, okay? There are 5 Sarah control decks, 5 decks running Shuri, 5 with Dino, 2 Deathwave decks, and 2 Zabu Darkhawk decks. All right, so there is a lot of Thanos that's gonna be running here, but like this says, some Darkhawk, like barely any, only a little bit of Deathwave, a lot of Sarah control, a little bit of Shuri too. I just got Shuri, and by the way, real quick, I'll do a video on this, but I've been ranking up like a madman today with this Shuri deck. It is bonkers. I've been a Shuri hater, now I'm a Shuri believer, all right? So anyways, so there's a lot of the same decks running. So when I was looking at this, I'm like, you know, in battle mode, what's going to have the most flexibility, what's gonna catch people off guard, and all that kind of stuff, all right? So Just open up my little handy dandy notes over here too. Let's go over the first one. Okay, so these are my top three in no specific order at all, okay? So first up, two decks that I really like come from none other than Dara JN. All right, so Dara, for the tournament, he's keeping it simple, but he's keeping it powerful, okay? The first deck that he's running is just traditional Deathwave. If you've watched any of my recent videos, Deathwave is one of the most popular decks right now. It is everywhere. Without Leader doing his thing, there's nothing really holding this deck back. And like you just saw, there's only one other person running a Deathwave deck. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. But yeah, this is going to be hard to stop. Now, a lot of different decks are running things like Cosmo and Armor, but one of the things that I've been ranting and raving about, like in a bad way, is you don't have to do much. You don't have to do much to pull off the big combos with this thing. You destroy a couple cards, right? And you got Yondu, you could take out one of their cards. Iceman, when it hits one of your cards, it could totally screw you up. I had that happen to me all day today. But yeah, then you wave, and then you can like Death and Arrow, Death and She-Hulk, so much going on, and you don't know where they're gonna place the card. So it's hard to like block it with Cosmo. I was talking about this on Twitter. Somebody was like, all you need is Cosmo and Armor to counter this deck. All right, watch the tournament. If you think it's that simple, watch the tournament, okay? Like, how are you going to armor all of the squirrels that are out there, right, from Killmonger? How are you going to armor against, or Cosmo, a turn one Yondu? You know what I mean? Like, this is a difficult deck to counter. So, Derek kept it simple. I dig it. I think this is gonna perform well. Here is his second deck. There's a lot of Shuri decks, okay? Now, Dara's Shuri deck is not too much different than some other people's on the list. Like, there are some people running like zero versions and stuff like this. This is just going to be a traditional powerful deck. I do like the use of vision here, like being able to move 14 power around, or you have the option of flexibility, right? Like you can just copy it with Taskmaster, you can just double up on your visions with Arnim Zola. Now the Arnim Zola though, it might be an easy read because he doesn't have Wong in here, so unless he's gonna gamble and just throw it down, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is similar to the deck that I've been running, and two of the main cards here are Cosmo and Armor, right? You Cosmo one lane, okay? You Shuri on the opposite lane, then you drop like your Red Skull behind Cosmo, then you drop your second one under Armor. Like this just right here is very, very powerful. And then you have a little bit of disruption with Polaris. Like I've been playing a deck similar to this all day long, and I've gained like 5 or 6 ranks, like just this evening alone. Like it's madness. It's madness. I might give this deck a spin, but I don't like messing around with like Zola and stuff like that. So maybe we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, these are Dara's. I think this is going to perform pretty well. All right. Like it's very simple. It's very predictable. But the thing is like these are so hard to counter. And this does have options, even if Shuri doesn't come out. You know what I mean? So next up in my top 3 is my man Specimen. Specimen, I think he's a popular creator, popular dude, right? But I still think he's underrated. The dude comes up with really creative, interesting decks. So Specimen's got a little bit of Sandman action here, but he's combining it with Shuri and Wong, and you're kind of seeing something similar to Dara's deck, right? But this does give him the extra flexibility to run like Doctor Doom to get into lockdown locations. He's gonna be able to slow down other decks. There are a lot of Thanos decks, so I think Specimen is gonna have a good time playing against some Thanos decks. And yeah, like I was running my Shuri deck earlier, so like the fact that he's running Shuri and has a Sandman with Zabu and stuff like that, like to reduce costs, this is gonna perform well. Like when people played Sandman against me today while I'm running Shuri, like it doesn't really matter. You're just kind of going 1, 1, 1, 1. You know what I mean? So I do like this. I think it'll be pretty interesting, pretty powerful. His second deck is a little bit of a Sarah control, but one of the reasons I picked it, I really love the turn 6 Arrow pulling him into Kingpin. That is magnificent. Now, one thing, and it's because I'm assuming he doesn't have Magneto in here because, you know, he's combining it with a little Silver Surfer action. So, you know, +2 power is nothing to scoff at, and he has a goose here to block certain plays. So unless somebody's running Zabu, that's going to prevent some things from happening. So this should be pretty decent, but I do like the fact that somebody is utilizing the Kingpin and the Arrow because it's hilarious. Today, like with the Shuri deck that I'm running, it's I don't know if KM Best made it, but I know a lot of people were talking about it, and it has Arrow in it, and I brought so many people into Fisk Tower and they got so upset. But yeah, I really dig this. I like it a lot. All right, so my third pick for the top three is Coco. All right, so Coco, super interesting deck here as well. So this is a Dino deck. A lot of people are running Dino, but I do like how he's utilizing Daredevil. I think this might be, maybe, don't take my word for it, there might be one other deck, but this might be one of the only decks that's actually running Daredevil, and what I like about this is Daredevil is probably the only card that I think you can really bluff with. All right, oh man, I just noticed this was kind of cut off for you guys. You guys get the picture. You guys saw it, right? You guys saw all the decks. Anyways, Daredevil, it's a good bluff card. So I think he might be able to pull some things off just by bluffing with Daredevil. We don't have too many things copying cards and keeping cards in his hand. Like you got basically just Sentinel and White Queen, but this does have the flexibility to make a lot of other things happen, right? Like he calls this turn 5 disaster. Like he has a multitude of options. And you also got Mr. Fantastic who could reach into different lanes, keep you like ahead with priority, all that kind of stuff. So that'll be good for the arrow plays and everything like that. So I really thought this was gonna be a strong deck. Next up, you know why I picked this one. You already know, baby. You got a ghost deck up in here. No, but in all honesty, so this is a Thanos deck, but it's also utilizing Ghost and Valkyrie and Spider-Man. This is a deck right here that I would run. All right. Now, um, with the octopus play, like that's great too, right? Because you could Valk into that lane. You're buffing your stuff up with Blue Marvel, so you can take them all down to 3 costs with Valkyrie. I love Valkyrie. I love Ghost. This is going to be dope. I am definitely going to test out this deck. The only thing that I've been kind of questioning is Beast, all right? When I first saw Thanos decks and I was like, oh, Thanos, you know, this would be cool. Toss Collector down in there, get Beast, start picking things back up, you know? But now that I've played a lot of Thanos, like a lot of Thanos, your hand is regularly full. It is difficult to dump your entire hand. So that's why I'm like, I'm not sure about Beast, but he also has, you know, Carnage will kind of like clear some space and he can like pick, I don't know, it might be good. It might be good. I'm not sure. But Beast is the only questionable card in this one. But yeah, all the other decks, there are some other decks doing Thanos with Valkyrie, but they're also running Lockjaw, which I personally think is way too risky. I experimented with some Valkyrie decks during the Quantum Tunnel event, and I was scared out of my mind, right? Like Valkyrie is just this like amazing finisher, right? It's this amazing turn 6 finisher, and the last thing I want is for Valkyrie to come up on like turn 2 or turn 3, or like, or not turn 2 or 3, but like turn like 3 or 4 whenever I get my Lockjaw out and just have it come out and just completely blow it. Like that is not something I would want to happen. Maybe the people running Valkyrie with Lockjaw tomorrow will prove me wrong, but it just seems like a really bad thing when Valkyrie is such an amazing finisher. All right, so those are my top 3. Dara, Specimen, Coco. We'll keep an eye on them. We'll see how they do. But I did want to throw out an honorable mention, okay? And that goes to none other than Alex Coccia. Both of Alex's decks are completely different than everybody else's. There's a lot of the same in this tournament, and a lot of people are gonna be getting used to each other and everything like that. Alex's is different, okay? So his first one is this Invis aggro deck that he has. So as you can see, it's running Zero, which can tag like a lot of different things in this deck. Zero Titania, Zero Ebony Maw, Lizard, Maximus, Atuma, right? Now, one of the only reasons I didn't pick it for my top 3, I think there's a couple changes I would make. One of them, I really don't like Invisible Woman. With Invisible Woman, you're not gonna be keeping priority because she's there, and then she's hiding your cards. You know, you could sneak an Ebony Maw behind there and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, if anything, like I don't know, I might swap like Invisible Woman for armor. That way, I'm not completely reliant on a Tuma getting zeroed. You know what I mean? But this is a very interesting deck. You know, you got Arrow, you got Doctor Doom, you got Magneto. There's a lot of flexibility with this and some possibilities to put down some big power. So we'll see how it works. We'll see how Woman works. So yeah, the only real drawback is just not having priority throughout the game. So I don't know. Maybe Alex has practiced with this. I know Alex, one of the reasons he probably has so many creative decks or decks that aren't the same as everybody else's, he's been doing something really cool on his channel where viewers submit decks and he tests them out, he checks them out and everything like that. So we'll see. We'll see how the whole Invisible Woman thing works. But his other deck is something that I have also been loving lately, which is Cerebro 3 with Bast, all right? Now, not just Bass, but Bass and Valkyrie, okay? So check it out. One of the other things I found really interesting about this is Iron Fist with multiple man. That's pretty cool, right? So you get two of these 3 power cards, which are powered by your Cerebro, and yeah, that's just like really cool. So for 3 energy, you're getting a bunch of power to go with your Cerebro. But the only thing is, like, playing a ton of Cerebro 3 this last week, um, I wish there was a Sentinel in here. And I would probably put in Sentinel for, like, Blade, you know what I mean? Because Blade is, like, you know, a last turn card, really, or you put it behind Cosmo. But Sentinel, like, when other things aren't going your way, like, Sentinel is just kinda, like, pumping out cards, right? Like, you're just, like, starting from turn 2, you're just going and going and going and going and going. The deck I was using too had Magic, so yeah, you'll just have, like, a whole just the whole thing's filled with like sentinels, right? And then you bust out like your cerebro and stuff like that. So this is gonna be interesting. But yeah, we'll see how it goes without Sentinel. I just really like the Iron Fist and multiple man. I think that'll be cool. But yeah, then you got Bass too, that can pump up the Iron Fist a little bit. You can pump up the Wasp. I dig it. And Bass is just amazing for Cerebro and Mystique. You have those in your hand. Like if you start your hand with those and Bass, ooh, it is good times. All right. But anyways, those are my top decks. So I'll be keeping an eye on everybody. I'm gonna be watching. Like I said, right here, this is gonna be on Kawa Twitch. I'm gonna link this entire thread down below. It also has Kawa Twitch link in it, and it starts at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific time where I'm at. So I'll be watching. Hope you guys are too, all right? And if you like this type of video, let me know down in the comment section. I want to do more of this. I might do some like match breakdowns and stuff like that. We'll see. We'll see how this goes, but this is like my jam. This is what I'm really, really into, and I love it, and I can't wait to watch. All right, but anyways, that's all I got for this video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, ring the notification bell, help us get close to 8,000 by the end of the month, all right? And you can join our awesome Discord community down in the description below, and follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ if you want to be part of our monthly season pass giveaways. I give away three whole season passes every single month just for you. All right. Anyways, that's all I got. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.